Comics Covered, episode 39, for the week of, oh my god, what day
August
was
22.
it? I still take issue with you not putting the TH or the RD or the whatever on the end of dates, because they get those. We do not live in Europe or wherever.
Okay, but is this
It's
22?
It is August 22nd, was this Wednesday.
Would you call the book that I'm reading outside of our weekly comics 52nd?
No, because it's not a
52.
date. You say, okay, I'm not getting into this. For the week of August 22nd, 2018, Jesus.
He checked his phone for the right year, just so everyone knows.
We're here for, I believe, this is not the first time with us
Second
recording, not the first time of us recording in the same room,
Yes.
but it is the first time of us recording in one of our houses.
Oh, yeah.
Here. So we're in my house. I'm Doug, by the way.
Hey.
I'm our resident comics person. I don't know. I read comics longer than Jack.
Yes.
And Jack is relatively newer to comic. He's my co-host here.
I'm Jack. You said that already, so that's fun.
Yeah. So he's here with me. We're in my house. He happens to be in town visiting.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do this remotely. And this is a comic book podcast. I didn't say that.
Yes. Just so everyone knows, we don't have any script in front of us, so that's why we are completely improvising. So
We're winging it this week. We're
winging
going
it.
no rundown. This is, I believe, the first time we've done that.
I think so.
A lot of firsts, a lot of not so firsts.
Hey.
Anyways. So yeah, we talk about comic books and the world around them, the industry. Sometimes we'll usually talk comic movies, TV, games, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This week we're going to keep that stuff fairly light, mostly just talk about the books. Although
Yes.
we do have one bit of comics news that we're going to just skip right to.
Well, one second. I have one thing. Sorry, since we always talk about a character, I just want to tell them about our conversation that we had the other day, because I've been reading 52, and the question is a big part of 52, and I did not realize, because, the question has no face, and I didn't realize that was a mask, which I think is absurd.
Okay, here's how I framed it that I think eventually got through to you. You were saying it was absurd that he would wear a mask of his face, of no face. How is that any more absurd than any other costume that a superhero wears? It looks cool and it obscures his identity. That's no more or less ridiculous than Batman dressing up as a bat.
I get that, but he doesn't wear a full mask. Like Rorschach in Watchmen.
In many ways, it's a better way to conceal your identity than really anyone else.
Okay, the way I was thinking of it, though, I thought it was a cool character because I thought that he was just this guy that doesn't have a face, and that he could, his power was to change his face, and that's why he was a good detective, because he could figure things out. I think that'd be a cool, Earth 1, The Question origin. You know what I mean?
I like it better that he wears a mask that it has no face, because it is ridiculous and I love it.
Okay. He should have been a part of Identity Crisis, I think, because he would have been perfect in there.
Yeah, he's a cool detective character, and I am excited to see your reaction to the rest of that question
I'm
stuff.
on issue 22, I think.
Yeah,
issue
you're
22.
almost through
Halfway.
the first book, the
Yes.
first half.
Yes.
Now that they do those in those big oversized 25 issue,
Yeah, I couldn't find...
or 26 issue.
I couldn't find anything that put them both together, actually. I don't think they do that.
There's gotta be a big
hardcover.
hardcover
I guess
thing,
so.
but I don't know. I have no idea.
What
but
else?
anyways, one bit of news this week. I mean, lots of news, but really only one bit of news
Is there,
that
though? I couldn't find any.
there was stuff. Marvel was teasing a Defenders series. They use that name in Netflix. It's not the origins of the comics. Is not actually those characters at all.
Oh, wow.
So they're teasing a book with the original lineup, which is very different than Marvel Netflix shows.
What is it?
It's Hulk, Namor, Doctor Strange, and the Silver Surfer.
That's really random, isn't it?
Well, that's what the team was, and then they just borrowed the name for Netflix.
It was supposed to be these are all people from all walks of life sort of thing.
It was they're kind of overpowered characters is kind of the thing.
Is Namor overpowered? I know he's
he's super
Marvel's
strong, and he's a
Aquaman.
very influential character.
Okay.
Anyways,
something with Namor in it sometime. What's the best thing with Namor?
that I've read. There's a really good run of New Avengers by Hickman.
Oh.
He was concurrently writing both Avengers and New Avengers.
Oh.
And it's called New Avengers. I'm doing air quotes. But it's basically, they introduced the idea of the Marvel Illuminati in Civil War, I believe, or maybe before that. So it's basically his take on that. And so it's basically the secret group that kind of like deals with all these like super, super smart Marvel characters. So it's like,
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards is on
Tony Stark?
Tony Stark is on it. Black Panther, in his run, it varies, but usually, yeah. Xavier was originally part of it, but I think he was dead at the time when Hickman wrote his run.
Okay.
So as the like smart mutant character, they had Beast.
Okay, he's a doctor. Dr. McCoy, right?
I mean, he's like a mad scientist, basically, in the comics. More so than in the movies. And then...
He's Kelsey Grammer in the movies.
He was like a senator. Well, until the reboot. Anyways, we are doing a little bit of movie talk. Who else? Damn it. There was at least one other character.
Is Bruce Banner smart? Was he not in it?
I don't remember. He wasn't in Hickman's run.
Okay.
I feel like there was someone else I'm forgetting. Anyways, that run with Namor is cool.
Okay.
Also, he has a decent-sized part in Hickman's Fantastic Four as well.
Okay.
He likes Namor.
Well, okay, so Defenders is starting, and the other news I found was that they're trying to do, like, Cosmic Avengers with Loki at the helm.
I didn't even see that.
They announced it for November or something. It's gonna be, like, Loki and, like, Hulk and, like, random people.
Okay. Anyways, this wasn't even the news story I was going to bring up.
No, it wasn't. We have a news story.
So that was just me giving examples of how there was other news this week.
We set it up by telling them, like, how it's always been a joke, who you hate.
Okay, yes, I don't know if we've talked about this on the show or not, but we have a really long ongoing bit, Jack and I, about how I hate the actor Brendan Fraser.
Specifically his face.
And how he wants to eat your children and lay eggs in their corpses.
Like, I used to, if he went to the bathroom and we were hanging out, I used to put his face all over the TV screen, and he would come back. It was great. It's a joke, mostly. I just think it's very funny because he's such a... What a fucking... Where did that fucking guy go? And also, he takes the most awkward, weird photos and makes the weirdest faces in a way that I don't think is intentional. He's not like a Jim Carrey or something. He's not like being wacky. He's just like... He has a really fucking weird face. I'm sorry to Brendan Fraser, who I know is a regular listener. You get mad at me about, like, Clay Mann, and look at you with Brendan Fraser. Jesus.
Savage. Well, no holds barred against Brendan Fraser.
So this week,
I'm sure everyone who listens to the show is probably sick and tired of us talking about the Doom Patrol show.
Yes.
But they announced who is playing Robotman this week, and it's fucking Brendan Fraser.
Oh, God.
Robotman is one of the main characters, in some ways kind of sometimes the main character.
Kind of the heart of the group, honestly.
He's not always, like, the character, but, like, he is kind of, like, he's your emotional kind of anchor in the Doom Patrol, usually. He's always on the team. The team changes, but he's almost always on the team, and he's kind of your, in a lot of ways, your reader surrogate, because he... like, doesn't have patience for all the weird bullshit. So he's always kind of confused.
I guess so.
But, yeah, so Brendan Fraser is he's doing the voice of him.
So, not his face, except
he's also going to play him in flashbacks, because Robotman as a character used to be a person. He was a race car driver. He got in an accident, and after the accident, he was put in a robot body, because, of course, that makes sense.
That happens.
That happens in real life.
It's a thing. But yeah, that's awesome. He texted me about it, and I just had to call. It's like someone died. Like, I couldn't believe, because I feel like I said in the past, someday Brendan Fraser's going to play Robotman, and it's going to be.
It feels like
really
a thing that, like, in passing, that joke had to have been made at some point.
Had to have.
Because we're such big fans of Robotman, and we've been talking, like, on and off about, like, what if they did a Doom Patrol, like, movie or whatever?
Yeah.
TV show was never in my mind, but.
More power to them. Makes more sense.
It does make more sense. It just, like, seems like the kind of property that never would have made it to that. Mm-hmm. Anyways. Enormous amount of irony.
Yeah, but what do you think? Like, I feel like with the casting of Brendan Fraser, I feel like this is at least going in a good direction of having some sort of that humor, maybe a little bit more lighthearted stuff.
Like, I joke about not liking him. I like the first Mummy movie.
Yeah. It's a good adventure action movie.
I think he has a good sense of, like, action, adventure, comedy. Mm-hmm. I think I could see him pulling it off.
Yeah. And you don't have to see his face then.
I just have to listen to his horrible voice. I have no opinion on his voice.
And he's probably going to make it, like, gruff or something like that. I don't know what he can do.
He's older. He could probably make himself sound a little more grizzled,
Is he on podcasts anywhere? I'm sure he's somewhere doing an interview.
He's doing something. He's probably doing some indie bullshit somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe he'll be on a late night show. That'd be great.
Doing interviews about the Doom Patrol TV show?
Not.
Maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he'll be on Seth Meyers or something, like James Corden.
Oh, gosh. No. Last Call with Carson Daly. That's it.
They should get the guy playing the body of Robotman to do carpool karaoke with James Corden, but then Brendan Fraser, he should lip sync the whole thing. Then Brendan Fraser is in the back seat crouching, but you can just see him, and he's actually singing, and the guy in the front seat is just lip syncing.
I like it. That's good. That makes sense. Oh gosh,
corporate synergy.
Yeah.
We're going to do the thing that we do on this show, which is talk about comic books, or at least the bulk of these shows.
We have to do the music now that we're probably not going to do it. No post, right? Or are you going to do post?
I'll probably do post.
So we're going to move on into our weekly comics.
So, we read a bunch of comics this week, and the both of us read books such as...
Oh, you have a list.
Action Comics number 1002.
That's hard to say.
That's probably clearer to say.
Can you just say 2?
It's the second issue of Brian Michael Bendis' Action Comics. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's more of a mouthful.
No, wait a minute. He said he did part of 1000. The main story in 1000, in fact.
He did a story in that, yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of more of a lead-in to his Superman, though, weirdly.
Man of Steel.
Although, no, I think it did have, like...
The Fires, I thought, started there.
No, you know what it was? He did a lead-in to his Superman run in the Action Comics special, and he did a lead-in to his Action Comics run in the Superman special.
That's true.
Which I don't know if you read that.
Did I not?
I'm not sure if you did. They were both... oh, wait. I don't remember. Something like that.
Okay, we know a lot about comics.
He somehow did a short story that led into that. Anyways, Action Comics 1002, Avengers number 6, Black Hammer, Age of Doom number 4. Did you read Cold Spots? We talked about it last week.
Samantha found it again. I should have gotten it.
I should have reminded you about it.
I'm going to get it next week. Did you read it?
I figured you hadn't read it because I didn't remind you about it, but I did read it.
Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down so they don't know at home. Thing. I'm just kidding.
I'll just tell them I'm going to give a straight thumb sideways.
Really?
I don't know. It like trending towards a thumbs up.
Okay.
But like, I don't know.
Who knows?
I have a lot of books. I'm probably not going to.
Nothing's particularly gripping about it.
It's not like it didn't blow me away. I wasn't interested. I was vaguely interested to see where it went, but like not interested enough to really like.
Okay.
Want to
Pearl is a little
spend
higher
more money on it
in new books.
Yeah.
Got you.
What
else?
Justice League. We got Justice League Dark number 2,
which I didn't read. Sorry.
You never read it? Okay.
I didn't read it. I'm sorry.
Dang it! I want to talk about that one. I'll talk about it.
I can get Samantha read it. I can get her in here actually. If you want to talk about it for a little bit.
We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The Sentry number 3, the Terrifics number 7, and Venom number 5. I also read Cold Spots number 1, Amazing Spider-Man number 4, Flash number 53, and
Detective
that was
Comics.
Detective Comics
983, right? 984? I don't know.
987.
97!
Which, by the way, another news story this week, just very briefly, is spinning off into an actual Outsiders series.
Oh.
So, I'm not sure if I assume... Oh, yeah, James Robinson's coming on to Detective Comics. So it is...
that's the guy who did badly on Wonder Woman?
Yeah, I feel like this is maybe a better fit for him.
Okay. What do you think?
He's written Batman in stuff before, and I have liked his Batman. Okay. So I'm going to check it out.
Did I jump in, you think, or no?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a new run.
Yeah.
He generally tends to treat his stuff as a fairly fresh jumping on point.
Okay.
You don't have to, but I'll let you know if it's good if you don't want to. But it would be a good jumping on point if you're looking for a jumping on point for Detective Comics.
Okay. Also, I read alone Black Panther #3, which I'm probably going to drop. Life of Captain Marvel and Shanghai Red #3, which continues to be good, by the way. Great.
Cool. I also, just as a note, I also picked up the first 2 issues of Farmhand this week.
Did you read the second one?
I did. They're both great. I don't
like the second one as much as the first one. I think the first one set it up better, and the second one's just kind of like, okay, things are continuing to be good, but... Yeah, I'm excited.
That book is kind of filling a niche spot in my comics kind of
really niche
catalog or whatever that I haven't really had a book like in a while. It's this great kind of cartoony yet dark mix. It's filling kind of the spot that the Goon used to fill back when that was coming out. Theoretically, there's someday going to be more of that. But I haven't heard anything on that in a while. Anyways, because Eric Powell moved into doing Hillbilly, which is different.
Yeah.
It's not quite the same tone. But the Goon is normally a bit kind of between that and this. It kind of fluctuates a bit. But Farmhand, very, very highly recommended.
I totally because that art, it's just so cool. Rob Guillory, just the way it looks, it's on top of it being really cartoony looking, there are just these moments and this detail put into it that makes it makes you feel grossed out sometimes, especially with this one because they're body parts. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm glad you like it.
Cool.
What do you want to talk about first?
Been a while since Black Hammer came out.
Oh my god!
I kind of want to talk about Black Hammer.
2 or 3 months, right?
They took a little trade break. I think this is number 4.
I don't know if it's a trade break.
I guess that's not a trade break. Because they probably would have waited until about 5.
It was a break while we were wetting our pants for this damn cliffhanger at the end of the last one.
I feel like it wasn't as long as you made it sound like it was forever. I feel like it wasn't that long. It was a couple months.
Okay, I'm looking it up. You set up the book or whatever. I'm going to look it up.
Okay, so for anyone not reading Black Hammer, by the way, we're going to talk spoilers about all these
spoilers.
Books. Spoiler warning. Black Hammer.
We're going to swear, sorry. We've already sworn.
I thought we were going to stop doing the swear warning.
I'm doing it sarcastically.
So, Black Hammer is a book written by Jeff Lemire, art by Dean Ormston. I always want to say, Ormstrin or something. I always want to add another N, or R, I mean. I don't know.
Dean Ormston. Yeah,
Dean Ormston.
Right. So I always recognize Dave Stewart, but I never recognized the artist for these. I should recognize.
It's always the same.
No, I know.
Although they have had some one-off or fill-in artists. But,
I also see Dave Stewart's name all over the place on Jeff Lemire's books now.
Oh yeah,
because he's on Gideon Falls. He's on this. I'm pretty sure he's on a different one that I read. I don't know. It's crazy. Also, you're right. July 20th. I really thought it was forever ago.
Yeah, it was last month.
Oh no! Originally published July 20th, 2016. That's bullshit. Never mind. I'm still finding it. Keep talking.
Oh, is that when it started?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, so Black Hammer is a book about a bunch of superheroes who as far as their world knows, died in this mysterious cataclysmic event that I think they call the Cataclysm, or something like that. Anyways, so they awake and find themselves after this accident this battle with this world-ending entity in this small town of something.
Black Hammer.
I don't think the town's called Black Hammer.
Oh, it's Black Hammer Farm. You're right. By the way,
no, it's not. I don't think anything is called...
Yes, it's called Black Hammer Farm, I swear.
I don't know about that.
It's something like that.
There's a character named Black Hammer.
I know there's a character named Black Hammer. I swear it's called Black Hammer Farm or some shit like that.
Anyways, so they're in this small town.
Wait, my hand is on my hip in a sarcastic and, I don't know, funny stance. Are you ready?
Okay.
Guess when it came out.
The last issue?
Yeah. August 20th right now, right? That's when this came out, or okay. August 22nd.
All right, you're making it sound like it was going to be longer than I think, so I'm going to say February.
Okay, that's ridiculous. April. 4 months ago.
Okay.
That's a long time.
Okay, I don't know. Anyways, 4 months is a long time. So this book, Age of Doom, is a continuation of the last volume. It's the same story.
It is.
This is number 4, and we get a bunch of, not revelations in this issue, but a lot of characters kind of learning about revelations that we, the readers, have known.
Yes.
And like lead into us. Oh no, we did get one big revelation at the end.
Yeah.
Big one. Where we kind of find out literally what's happening in the book.
So at the end of the last one, Lucy Weber came to Madame Dragonfly because she's like, motherfucker, I know what's going on now, and you need to tell everybody. And Madame Dragonfly's like, no, I got you in my little gazer beam thing.
Gazer beam. That's a character from the first Incredibles.
Yes, sorry.
A dead one. We get all the other characters learn that Madame Dragonfly and Colonel Weird
are manipulating them.
Are are behind them being trapped in this weird small town. We get very, very brief talkie-walkie, the robot.
I thought he was going to be alive.
It seemed like they were going to bring him back to life, It seemed like they were going to bring her back to life in this issue, and because she died a few issues ago, and nope.
No.
Wakes up and is like, oh, Madame Dragonfly lied to us, and then dies again. Then they all go confront her.
Wait, I wonder if they're... Okay, because of the reveal at the end, can we just say what the reveal at the end is?
Yeah.
So they're in space, on a spaceship, in some sort of stasis, and...
they're in, like, pods.
So does that mean... Do we think Talkie-Walkie is alive? Actually?
Ooh.
I didn't think about that. They're not... She's not getting up, but... Like, if they're like this... She must be. They can't actually kill her.
I'm willing to bet somehow Talkie-Walkie is still dead. Like it's going to be like... I don't even know.
But how would her rewiring her and doing that? Because I feel like only in the reality that
maybe Talkie-Walkie was never there. I don't know.
But how would that work? How would she have the... I don't know, man. It's really weird, especially with the rewiring. Like, Golden Gale, comes into this barn and where Talkie-Walkie is dead, and she tries to rewire it in this issue and has those blurted out words of betrayed by or whatever. How does that work if they're in this stasis nightmare thing and they're in these pods? Is she dead?
I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll find out next month. It does say next month, so.
We really get 3 panels. Yeah, so they say, like, I'll show you, like, what we actually did here. And next page we get them, like, waking up in their stasis pods, and then a panel of, we got Golden Gale going, what? and then shot of rocket ship in space.
Oh, gosh.
Which is just a complete left turn in terms of, like, what this series is kind of about.
How did Lucy Weber get there then? I thought it was going to be in, like, the Parazone or some shit like that, and she traveled there.
I think this might be the Parazone. We see a weird, like, nebulous eyeball in the background and some stuff. Also, didn't we get some kind of weird lead in and tie into the Parazone in Dr. Star somehow? I don't remember.
Well, they did go to the Parazone, but I remember Lucy getting there. Lucy Weber, like, traveled in... Well, remember when they sent those, like, satellites out, and we saw the satellite go from inside that farm simulated thing and went, like, into space and then onto Earth? Mm-hmm. That's, I think, all the things we got. That's what I thought, why I thought it was the Parazone. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, so big cliffhanger, a lot of, like, kind of, revelations with all the characters are kind of finding out what's actually happening now, which has kind of been the whole mystery and, like, what it's all been leading to.
Yeah.
Although with a twist that big, like, I feel like I don't know if, like, the series is... If there's another shoe that's going to fall at some point.
Yeah.
Or, like... That's a phrase, right? The other shoe falls. Waiting for the other shoe to fall.
I don't know about that. Why would shoes fall just randomly?
I don't know, but it's a phrase.
But, like... I feel like that means that... Because, like, unless the shoes are tied together... Then there's not, like, if one shoe falls...
I'm sure there's a scenario, a reason why this is a phrase. I'm fairly sure it's a phrase. Anyways.
Okay, sorry. Getting back to the show.
So, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Golden Gale's pissed. Everybody else seems to be actually, like... What is it? I think they mentioned straight up. I love the moment, because, what is it? Barbalian just got his little priest friend, you know? Mm-hmm. Gay guy. Like, they're like, you know... I'm putting my 2 index fingers together. They're having fun together, which is great and awesome.
Also, very sad because none of it was real.
Yeah.
And he was, like, finally, like, oh, I'm finally happy and ready to accept that we're stuck here because I, like...
but then so Abraham's weird. Like, isn't it weird that just as we were ready to, like, say, this is bullshit, let's leave, we got everything we wanted?
Yeah.
Just so perfect.
Yeah.
I still think it's weird that Abe's girl also thought it was weird.
It was really weird. That dude who's always an asshole came up and was like, I give you my blessing out of nowhere. And it was really fucking weird.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be weirded out.
But I know, but like if she's made up, like maybe they're...
but we don't know what they haven't explained like what the rules of how this fake world they set up were. Maybe it seemed like it kind of in some ways ran itself until Madame Dragonfly would like step in and be like, oh, we're going to change this, you know, like it was kind of like they made it.
Yeah.
It's a simulation and it kind of just goes.
One thing I really liked about this reveal is that Madame Dragonfly, when everything's kind of going to shit and they're like, okay, this is gone, she's in tears saying, I'm actually really happy that I don't have to do this anymore. Like, this has been tiring. I really hate doing this. So I'm glad that she wasn't just like evil. You know what I mean? Which makes sense. Because Colonel Weird was always like, about it too. So I'm just really glad that they did it like that. That she was like literally in tears as she was like, oh, thank you God, we're finally doing this. But like also, I don't know, worried about things to come. Yeah, a lot of big shit happening there.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about Justice League Dark, I'll leave and I'll get Samantha in here. Seriously.
Did she read it?
She read it.
Did she read the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Okay.
I'll play her in.
I mean, I'm going to edit this out if she doesn't want to come on. All right, we did a weird switcheroo here. We've got Samantha here.
Hey.
She's going to jump in for Jack because she was in the other room and happened to read Justice League Dark, and Jack did not. Listeners might remember Samantha from an episode where I wasn't on. She guest hosted with Jack.
Yes, I did.
So welcome back.
Thank you.
So yeah, I didn't know you were reading this.
Yes.
How are you liking this book?
I was reluctant to start reading this because it's just, you know, me with the whole superhero thing. When there's a lot of superheroes, I'm reluctant to do it.
Okay.
But, you know, with Identity Crisis and the other stuff, I've really gotten to want to read more, seeing that it is actual story and not just fighting.
It runs the gamut. Like, some of it is throwaway trash, and some of it is really good.
Yeah,
most
but it
of
makes me want to give it a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah. This issue, I liked a lot more than the first one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how they started it and then how they ended it with the emotional part of Wonder Woman. Of that when she was a child, that scared feeling and why she got it, and then at the end, the same scared feeling, and it just tied in really well.
Yeah.
I really thought was cool. It made it like an issue that just stood out and wasn't just part of a story, but like kind of a story in and of itself.
Yeah, had some kind of closure in and of itself as a story. Did you have much familiarity with these characters at all before you jumped into this book? Like, I know you've read some big, like, universe DC stuff.
Yes.
Like, you said you read Identity Crisis, you read Crisis on Infinite Earths recently.
Yep.
Like, were there any characters in here that you didn't know?
I feel like I remembered Zatanna from something. I don't remember what I read, but it had her in it.
She's also been in a lot of, like, I don't know, like, she was in, like, the animated shows and stuff, so maybe you remember her from there as well.
Okay, and then, Constantine, is that his name?
Yep.
Yes, Constantine I did not recognize. Everyone else I knew.
Do you remember the movie with Keanu Reeves from the early 2000s, I think, called Constantine?
I don't think I saw it, but I remember Keanu Reeves being in a movie like that.
It was I don't know, I'm not really sure what the consensus is on that movie, but they made a movie about it with Keanu Reeves. He's also, you've read bits of Eleanor's Swamp Thing, right? So
and
he originated from that.
This was I know you guys have a panel of the week. I love the way that this is drawn.
She's pointing out it's like, it's not quite a full page splash, but it's a big panel of Swamp Thing, and then they've got kind of under Swamp Thing's beard. He's got like a big beard in this series.
It's kind of like looking like it's a tree. So he's
a little bit, yeah.
He is part of the earth, so he's being a tree, and inside him are these things
kind of
happening.
in like the folds of all his weird foliage. We've got other panels of him and Constantine. Yeah.
Also, I love the parts where, I think there are two parts where we see Swamp Thing kind of blacked out and we see just the lights with the trees, and then we see it again with Constantine, and it's such a beautiful image, but he's saying that, like, while you're looking at this, can I swear?
No, you can. We
Shit's
gave the warning.
Go down. So while you're looking at this, you're like, wow, that's so beautiful. It's gonna lead to some shit. So I love that.
Yeah. And do you think you're going to keep reading it? You sound like you were... Okay.
Definitely.
So this issue kind of won you over a little bit more?
Yes. I think we're reading another Justice League one, but it's not Justice League Dark.
Jack and I don't know if you can tell me if you were or weren't, but we've been reading just the regular Justice League book by Scott Snyder, if that was maybe it.
That might be it. I'm not sure. But I definitely will be reading this. This is great.
Yeah, really I'm very much enjoying it. I'm hoping to get more Man-Bat.
Yeah, me too.
There was less Man-Bat in this issue. That was one of my favorite parts of the first issue.
Yeah.
I liked the angle they were going with him, which is not necessarily the normal Man-Bat kind of take that you get. He's not usually a super deep character. And I liked kind of what they were doing with him emotionally.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to get more of it. This issue was just kind of light on it.
Yeah. I didn't, while I was reading that, I was thinking it, but now I really wish it had.
And I just like kind of, they're really like making the character move of Wonder Woman kind of positioning herself as more a part of the world of magic makes sense. In a way, like I like it conceptually because she is connected to the world of magic. Yeah, but she's never been a character who's like, I don't know, like you don't consider her like a magic character who's fighting magic characters, but she kind of is in a weird way. That's never like, I don't think necessarily always the intention, but like, they made it make sense for her character why she would like focus back in on that specifically in this book, and I like that.
But yeah, I just thought it was really well done. The writing was really good, and it was very relatable, the emotional part of it, which to me is very important when reading a comic. If I don't care, then I will not read it. And I care, so I will continue to read this.
A glowing endorsement from Samantha here.
Thank you.
All right. Any other thoughts about this book, or should we...
One thing I particularly liked... Where is it? Where they find the vase that has...
Oh, yes.
What's his name in it?
So, Khalid Nassour, he was Dr. Fate for a few years, and his book didn't sell very well, so it kind of slowly disappeared, and then they brought back Kent Nelson. I liked him as a character. The book was okay. Okay. But I really liked, like, him. It was kind of a more like modern take on Dr. Fate. He wore a blue hoodie, but then he still had the helmet, and he was just kind of more just like, he was a newbie at doing it, and he was a kid, which was kind of a new, different kind of take on it, because Dr. Fate is usually like this all-knowing sorcerer, and I liked that as an angle. So it seems like they're not killing him off here. They've re-imprisoned him back in a vase, I think. He's trapped in a weird ceramic vase.
And I love how they show, his mouth getting closed and then getting shut. And it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great little sequence. I was not expecting him to ever be referenced again. So I was kind of happy to see him again.
Yeah, and this is my first time seeing him. So this is interesting.
Yeah. Always like some good Dr. Fate stuff. Although it seems like Kent Nelson himself is not evil in this, but Nabu is making his 100th. Nabu is the personality who lives in Dr. Fate's helmet.
Okay.
And he like once every few years, Nabu goes evil.
Yeah,
he's just kind of a dick.
When I heard his name, I don't know if you know Nobu Sushi, but that's what came to mind. Mm-hmm. So I always think of feeling with an evil guy.
I always think of Nabu from Star Wars.
Yes,
which is a thing from the prequel, so also not necessarily great.
Right.
But yeah, he's kind of a dick. But useful if you can use the helmet and not let him take you over like he does invariably every time.
Well,
cool. Yeah.
Those are my thoughts.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping in.
You're welcome.
We could probably grab Jack again.
Okay.
I'm gonna have copyright though, actually. That's not good.
What is that from?
That's isn't that Looney Tunes or something?
Oh, is that what you were doing? Yeah.
Something like that. Okay. Hi, it's Jack. I'm back.
Yeah, our game of musical chairs is done.
Yes.
Shame on you for not reading that book.
I'm gonna read it tonight, literally.
It's fine. I haven't read all of my books, but I got all the books that we both read.
I know, I didn't plan it correctly.
No, I don't. I have definitely done that in the past. But we had someone to come in and jump in, and
exactly.
Sam and I talked about it. The consensus is, like, we both really liked that issue.
Nice.
And
better than the first
she really liked it better than the first issue. I liked things about the first issue more. I liked things about this issue more than, like, different things about this issue more than the first. But, like, I think it still continues to be a really strong new series.
Cool.
I think it's continuing the trend of James Tynion clearly having a really good handle on how to write, like, ensemble team books.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, what's next on the docket?
Cool.
What's our...
What do we got?
I love Venom.
We've got a few of them. Should we talk about Venom?
Let's talk about Venom.
All right. This issue, more than I think any other issue of Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Venom, really won me over.
Really?
I've really liked this book.
Yeah.
But I've kind of, like, I don't know. There was something about it that had me
felt
kind
90s to you?
Felt like a little too edgy to me.
Okay.
But this issue, I think, really made it work for me.
Okay.
Like the whole thing.
How
like what they're going for.
I didn't see much of a difference, I guess. Was there more Eddie than, like, no, like, talking like, you suck?
I think it was the fact that it wasn't... Like, I mean, they have been making, like, big kind of universal changes to Venom in this series, which is something I have really liked about it. But this issue, more than really, I think, any other issue of this series, this is number 5, by the way, so we're a bit into this book.
This is 5?
It feels longer. It feels like it's been not this many issues.
I thought this was 4, honestly.
I thought this was, like, 3 or something. But, anyways, it felt, this issue more than any other issue, felt like they were making big, substantial changes to kind of Venom and how Venom works as a character. Not just the world around Venom, but how Venom as a symbiote, as this character having, like, working with Eddie Brock, like, changed some core kind of elements about Venom's powers and about Venom's personality and about, like, that felt, I hope, because comics always go back to their status quo in a way that very much frustrates me, but in ways that feel like they should be long-standing, like, this is the way forward for this character, I feel like. And I hope they don't just retcon it all out, but they probably will. I mean,
one of the things I really liked about this is I love when they're talking to each other when he's like, I don't know if they do this. Do they do this other head, disembodied head to Eddie a lot of times. I don't know. I really like that for some reason.
I don't know, because honestly, I haven't read a whole lot of Venom stuff.
Okay. I also love the reveal of the wings. Just let it go. Just trust me. And I think that like shows their sort of symbiotic relationship. And I think it's beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. It's so great.
Some guy on Reddit was I put up this was like 2 weeks ago or something. Okay. I put up a panel from an issue of Bendis's Superman, and he was saying how he didn't like Bendis books because they make too big of use of double page splashes. And okay, we're not talking about Bendis right now.
Okay,
but I just sometimes that's sometimes I feel like people make too big of a deal out of writers using the economy of space in comics. There is an art to that. Yeah. And when you overdo things like double page splashes, like it can be kind of a waste of your storytelling space.
I can see that.
But that doesn't mean you should never do a double page splash or a single page splash.
Yeah.
If it's motivated and if it like has a special impact that you couldn't do otherwise, I think that's an invaluable, important tool in a writer and artist's toolbox. And like, there's a beautiful fucking double page splash that is the reveal of, in this issue, we get this new element that, the symbiote has wings. It can grow wings, not at all times, but big red demon wings, basically. And can fly, which is entirely new for that character. And they do it with a big double page splash. Just gorgeous against the night sky, big moon behind him. It's so incredibly 90s, but also it's really great.
What's 90s about that?
It's just the fucking big red demon wings.
The red and black sort of like color scheme?
It is and it isn't. I don't know. But it's something about like how it's the like gothic horror nature of this series. I think really clicked for me in this issue for some reason.
It put it in a meaningful space, kind of.
Like, because, like, it felt less edgy to be edgy and more like a gothic horror thing to me in this. And I don't know exactly why.
For me, the reason why we're not doing panel of the week, but I would have picked that as my panel of the week, is because I think it's like this emotionally impactful moment because, first of all, yes, it's wings, and that's a huge moment for Venom, and it's different, and it's new. They're falling through the sky before that, and I think one of the cool things about it is that right before it, the symbiote's like, just trust me. And so this is sort of a look at him trusting the symbiote. Like, making it so that this is symbiosis, this is us together, and I'm going to trust you to catch me when I fall. And I think that's really cool about this. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, it's safe now. And I don't know, I thought that was really particularly cool about this. Like, you were telling me that, things are edgy just to be edgy, but this thing was like, it had a lot of, like, it had stuff in the background, just like Donny Cates always has. He's just such a great...
Yeah, and, I mean, like, specifically in the context of, like, what this series has been so far, it's all been about, like, the worry of, like, what if the symbiote is, like...
freaks out,
goes bad. Like, what if the symbiote goes and loses its mind?
Yes.
Like, and can it control me? What happens if that happens? And like, about Eddie Brock kind of learning to distrust the symbiote. And this issue is that turning point where it's like, oh no, through this experience, this kind of gauntlet that we've gone through and we're going through, it's actually brought us closer together, and it's expanded our like ability to do more things together. Yeah. And I really like that. And I also just really like the twist at the end. I don't know if this is going to be a permanent thing. I don't know if this is a thing they've done before, but they've absorbed this other symbiote character into the symbiote, Eddie Brock's symbiote.
And it makes sense that they'd be able to. There's symbiotes.
And they've made a point in this run of saying how they're like kind of a communal hive mind species. Like they live together as one weird fluid naturally. And so they in order to kind of like save this character / hide him or protect him, I guess more. There's a number of different factors in there, but they've absorbed him into their body And so he's got Eddie Brock has two symbiotes now, and they're living together. And
well, they're all symbiotes. Isn't the human I guess it's a host. Never mind. Sorry. But I loved also that story that he tells, this other symbiote. What's his name? Black Army guy. Rex. His name's Rex, isn't it? I swear his name's Rex.
Rex Strickland.
I love that, because we find out here that he's just a symbiote. He's just a fucking symbiote. And he's just been looking like Rex Strickland this whole time because he's been lost, I guess. And
so basically, it's a bit of a Swamp Thing scenario in which, like, there was a Rex Strickland, and then he says he died out there, and I became him. I am him. I have been for a very long time.
Well, that's also a trope in a lot of war things where people take the other's place. Like what's a big one that does that? One of them.
Fucking Mad Men did it.
Mad Men. That's what I was thinking of. Sorry, Mad Men did it. Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers for Mad Men. But,
well, they don't know which character.
Oh!
Sorry. Let's just go.
Who stole someone's identity in... What was that, Korea? I don't know. Anyways, but especially since this is a tie back to what is going to be Donny Cates's run about the symbiotes in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Venom, Vietnam.
That's so next week, by the way.
Oh, is that next week?
Next week.
I'm excited.
I'm so pumped.
Especially considering...
Good fucking timing.
This really cool kind of tie-in to that. I am now, more than after the previous issues, interested to learn more about this character and how that came about.
I was kind of like a little bit iffy on the Web of Venom thing. Like, is this really going to be something I like? I don't know.
I wasn't sure. I'm not huge on like war comics.
Yeah.
But I am interested to learn about this character and kind of that scenario. I really like this as a turning point in terms of the characters' relationships.
Yeah.
Because
the art is still beautiful, I think, too.
Yeah, I really liked the art in this issue. It has slowly kind of won me over as the series has gone on. Like it's great art. It's just not necessarily always my thing, but over time I'm really coming to appreciate what he's like, appreciate his style. I think it's just something that I had to get used to.
Yeah, totally.
And there's so much detail and so much work that goes into it, and it really is beautiful when it really comes together.
Definitely. Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big fan.
What's next on the dockets?
We got some options. What do you want to talk about?
I did like Terrifics, but I don't. Well, actually, I do really like the Tom Strong stuff, but we don't need to do a whole thing on it.
Oh, did you? Just very briefly.
Okay, let's go.
Did you? You really? I was curious what your reaction to the Tom Strong stuff was going to be.
Okay, well, I really liked the idea of us starting inside a comic book inside the real world, and then having Tom Strong be a part of the other thing, and then having that be a universe to which they had to travel to. I liked that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Oh,
and
sure.
I just like the idea of Tom Strong being this like. I'm just a strong guy and whatever, and
he is Alan Moore's love letter to pulp superhero comics, like Golden Age.
Well, almost the original
stuff.
Superman, right? Because he could just jump in and do stuff.
I mean, like in some ways, kind of it's like the era right when like Superman started. Not even necessarily superheroes always. But there are definitely superhero elements to him.
Yeah. It's kind of an amalgamation of a wrestler almost. Like a Hulk Hogan with Superman.
But yeah, he's a science hero. He's a genius, but he's also really tough and fights guys. He's very pulpy, and they always really lean into that. And him as this very, like, straight-laced, like, I'm a hero, and we always have to do good. And, like, when done well, it's really fun.
Yeah. Flex Mentallo is basically making fun of him, right?
Sort of, yeah, like characters like him, yeah.
Like him, yes. Yeah. He's an homage. Flex Mentallo is a parody.
Well, Flex Mentallo is specifically a parody of an old ad that used to be in the back of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever looked at that ad?
No, I don't.
So it's basically, you know how he has when Flex Mentallo, we're talking about a character from Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol, sorry. Yes.
He's a guy who wears leopard skin briefs and nothing else, and he flexes his muscles, and he gets a, quote, hero halo, which is a big golden burst of energy where he gets the words, hero of the beach.
Oh my god.
Over his head. It's ridiculous.
Was that legit in Grant Morrison's run? That ad?
It wasn't in his run. It was an old ad that was always in the back of comics.
Okay.
And it was for the Charles Atlas. system or whatever, and it was this short comic that would be in the back of, like, you know how they always have the terrible, like, Snickers comic? It was something like that, but it was like, wimpy guy at the beach with his girlfriend. Oh, he got pushed over by a bully. Now he did the Charles Atlas program, and then there's this panel of him flexing, and there's Hero of the Beach over him with this big golden thing, and the little Grant Morrison was like, all right, what if that was a real thing, though? Okay, like, what if that was literal?
Love it.
Anyways, big sidetrack.
Terrifics is great.
Yeah, Terrifics is great. They're starting to really lean into the Fantastic Four kind of part of it. We've got a definite Doctor Doom analog in the book now.
Dr. Dread, you mean?
Doc Dread.
Doc Dread. I'm sorry, Doc.
Anyways.
Action Comics.
That book's very fun.
I think remains to be good.
I wanted to check in, because we talked very briefly about Avengers.
Okay, I like the idea of us being a sickness to Celestials and us culturing on this Earth because we're, I guess, we're the cure now.
So basically they were making this thing of, like, we're basically a vaccine in that we have been kind of inoculated with this disease in order to develop defenses against it.
For the Celestials.
Yes.
So I like that idea. Yes. I just don't think it was executed that well.
I think that, like, this series has so many... This is Jason Aaron and Ed McGuinness's Avengers. We're on issue number 6 right now. Yeah. And this series has been so full of so many cool, big ideas. And, like, it's full of great small character moments. Little, like, quippy lines. And, like, the characters all feel right. But also... There's no downtime in this book.
There is zero.
In a way that, like, I don't know that it necessarily always works for me. Rick Remender is someone, for example, just as an example, who can make breakneck pace where you have very little downtime and everything's always go, go, go. Yeah. He makes that work in a way that really highlights the character, like the character development. Yeah. And I don't know that I necessarily feel, not everyone has to do stories in that way. There's lots of ways to tell stories, but I feel like I'm just not getting a whole lot of substance in this.
Yes. No, I agree
in terms of character development.
Well, I don't know if it's about character development, though. It doesn't seem to be.
And that's I think, what the disconnect is that, like, I think this is a book intended to be a big blockbuster action superhero spectacle. Yeah. But, like, I want a little bit more of a mix, I feel like, just personally.
I feel like it'd be better done if it was by Hickman, because I wouldn't care as much about the character development. I think we've talked about this a little bit before. In Hickman books, a lot of times character development isn't the focus.
It's not at all.
Not at all. So, like, this one, I don't think it's the focus, and I think it hurts because of that. Like, it's not about character development, it's about this big idea of, like, the Earth and us, and the prehistoric Avengers being, like, you know, making this mistake, and then them having to deal with it now, and it's just, like, I've liked it this whole time. I really liked the last one. I liked the reveal of them doing big old robots, and I thought this was gonna be great. It feels empty. It feels empty of development. It feels like Darkness Metal a little bit. I don't know. That's the only thing I can describe this stuff for.
Like, this is your forever touchstone for, like, big action series you don't connect to. Is just gonna be like, it feels like Dark Knight's Metal.
Okay, it's because like when you take your first steps, you know, it's like.
It was your first encounter with a story like that you didn't click with.
That was disappointing for me.
Yeah. I can see what you're saying. I don't know that it was. I didn't click with Dark Knight's Metal because I couldn't physically, like, wrap my head around the, like, emotional ramifications of what was happening because it was so kind of floaty with the logic of the storytelling. This, I know exactly what's happening. I guess so. Just like, I don't know. It just doesn't. I just don't connect with it very much. I don't know. It's a fun book. I think I'm going to give it. It seems like we've wrapped up this first arc.
I don't know if we've wrapped it up. I think we have.
Oh, they're definitely gonna follow up with it. No, it seemed like they defeated the Celestials. I think in this issue.
They defeated them, but they're gonna have an issue of like, okay, we're getting back to normal.
But that's what I'm saying.
Transition. Yes.
But that's what I'm saying is I think that, like, maybe I'll give it 2 issues if that's the case. If if next issue is going to be all downtime. One, I think some downtime along with these characters could really help. Set the kind of emotional context of this whole thing. But I'm hoping that this first arc was just a big hit the ground running thing. And then it's going to be a bit more of a mix going forward with future arcs. But it might not be. This could be the model for every arc. I don't know.
I kind of hope that maybe we're missing something in the little moments here that we're going to get in different character things like, you always do this with me, or some shit like that we're not noticing here, that we're going to touch on maybe in later arcs.
Like, Jason Aaron is a writer I really like. He's a really skilled, long-term storyteller. And there definitely will be lots of stuff. They're definitely sowing the seeds for a lot of stuff. We're definitely going to get more, I think, with the, prehistoric Avengers stuff. We're definitely going to get more with, whatever he's doing with Loki here.
That's also weird. Loki's in such a weird place in Marvel, I feel like, these days.
I feel like no one is on the same page about what exactly Loki's doing, which in some ways kind of works, but also is kind of frustrating. Because, on the one hand, he's playing all sides, and maybe he doesn't even always know what his deal is, which is kind of the character, but also, I feel like I have no hand... even in the moments where it feels like we are getting the reveal of, this was his thing. It always feels like, okay, but wasn't he doing this other weird thing over here that kind of does, in Doctor Strange, and
Can everybody just, ask Donny Cates what they should do with Loki? Seriously, though, can they? Please? Can you just run Loki?
God,
that'd be fun.
He wrote a very good Loki.
It was awesome.
It was very good.
But yeah, Avengers. I'm gonna give it one. I'm gonna keep reading it.
I'm gonna give it, depending on what the next issue, if the next issue is all palate cleanser, I think I'll give it 2. If the next issue is we're jumping right in a new arc and it doesn't super grab me, I might drop it.
I feel that.
I like the book. I don't know.
Read Life of Captain Marvel instead. You get Captain Marvel, lots of development there. You gotta do it. It's really great.
Alright. Anyways, was there anything else you were dying to talk about? Or
the Sentry was fantastic again. We get a little more background on Billy. Scout becoming the new Sentry, but I guess not really that much. More just background telling us what's happening.
I don't know that there's a lot to discuss. We got some backstory about how Cranio entered the picture was kind of the big thing.
I have a theory for Sentry.
Hot take.
I like it. Scout is possessed by the Void.
Scout?
Billy is being possessed by the Void.
I thought you meant the dog.
No, Billy is being possessed by the Void. Every single time he's drawn in here, I swear most of the time his eyes are fucking black.
It's possible.
I swear it's all the time.
It's possible he's been possessed by the Void. Although, that would make sense.
I don't know.
I can see it.
I just feel that. I just feel like he's been possessed by the Void a lot. And I feel like the Void only has human powers when he's possessing humans, but now that he gave himself the Sentry shit, this is how the Void comes out. You know?
I am also curious to see, are we going to get a Sentry versus Sentry fight?
I mean, it looks like it. Look at the fucking cover. The cover's right here.
Yeah.
That's Sentry and Sentry.
Although he's in his scout costume.
But he has the Sentry fluid, so he has Sentry powers. I guess he has Sentry powers anyway.
Is he going to regrow his arm or because of this? Or is he going to be a superhero with one arm? Have there been anything like that? I mean, usually when there's characters like that, they'll give them a robot arm or something. I'm racking my brain trying to think if I've ever seen a superhero who's an amputee like that. They should have one. That would be great. It would be great. It's a little unfortunate that this character... Oh my god, I know! Doug! Arm fall off boy! That's it! The first... What, didn't you say... Didn't you suggest that his name should be Amputee? Amputee! Yeah, that was it! But, I don't... It is unfortunate that we're getting... That is a thing that we haven't really seen, or at least can't remember, from a character who is clearly kind of evil. Yeah. He's not really a superhero. Yeah, I guess so. But, anyways, it is... I think it is cool that we are at least getting a character who's kind of embodying something like that we don't see. We don't really see.
Do we see 2 arms in this? Wait, in this cover. Is there 2 arms? There's 2 arms.
Yeah, but
you never know. Covers lie.
He's also in his scout costume, so this might be more metaphorical.
It might be in the universe.
It could also be in that. It is drawn by Kim Jacinto, who does the in the Sentry universe.
I would think Jacinto, right? You don't have a name.
I don't know where her name comes from, but it does sound anyways. Wow. So yeah, this book continues to be really great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Cool. That's probably about gonna do it for the show. Very quickly. Spider-Man's great. Spider-Man is great.
Really?
You should read that's Flash. Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man is very fun.
Fencer?
I just really quick want to give you the quick and dirty pitch.
Give me dirty pity.
It's
dirty pity.
Give me dirty pity. What?
That's
dirty pity.
Just go.
The quick pitch, and it is stupid, but it's great.
Okay.
It's one of those things where the premise is ridiculous, but also kind of clever, and it's really well done. Okay,
go ahead.
So Peter Parker has always been a character who's about, with great power comes great responsibility. That's the classic line, okay? And it's about this idea of, balancing those things.
To be fair, almost every superhero is that.
Yes, but that's
it's the line. It's the line for him.
And
I get it.
More than any other character, it's him having to make hard decisions, about, using his powers responsibly.
Yes.
I feel like that's a central part of that character.
Yes.
So Peter Parker was put through a machine that split power and responsibility into 2 people. So Peter Parker does not have spider powers anymore. There is Peter Parker, and there is Spider-Man. Spider-Man has all the powers. No responsibility.
Oh, God.
So Peter Parker, it starts off when it happens, and he realizes it happens, he's so happy. He's like, oh my God, I get to finally live my life, and the world gets Spider-Man, and he can protect everyone. And then he slowly realizes this Spider-Man is incredibly reckless and a dick.
Oh, no.
And so it's about him, where he's trying to figure out, what to do about that. Can we get put back together? Is there a way to, fix this somehow? And it's great.
Is the Spider-Man still, quippy and stuff? Or,
Yeah, he's also got his sense of humor. Peter Parker is completely humorless.
Oh, no!
He's, got normal, normal, weak young guy strength. He hasn't worked out in months, and but he's also just completely serious, but also a really good guy and really nice to people and looking out for people. And Spider-Man,
Chad.
Spider-Man is just completely without any kind of sense of responsibility.
Oh my gosh.
I
might have to do that. That's really cool.
And I don't consider that necessarily. It takes you an issue or 2 to get to that point where that reveal is made. Yeah. But that's such a core conceit of this opening arc, I wouldn't consider it really a spoiler.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the hook. Okay. So,
it's hooking me.
It's great. And also, I think Nick Spencer's sense of humor really works in this book in a way that it hasn't worked for me in any of his other work. I'm really enjoying it. I think it really fits Spider-Man. It's a really fun book.
Okay, and is this starting sort of at square one after Dan Slott's run? It's just
kind of. I'm not. I didn't read Dan Slott's run, so I don't know where it ended up.
Yeah,
I get the impression we're doing a little bit of table setting here.
Okay,
I don't have any context for that to be frustrated or whatever by it. Maybe you'll be annoyed by it.
Yeah,
but yes, I get the impression they're doing a little bit of table setting. They're also putting some things back on the table that I think have been taken off the table for a while.
Interesting.
Progressing some things. So, it's early days, so hard to tell. Yeah. Hard to tell, how much it's changing. You can tell me better. I'm curious. If you want to read the first issue, you tell me, how different it is.
Okay. Did you say different? Sorry.
How different it is. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for the show.
That's going to do it. Okay.
Thank you all for listening. If you made it this far, I know this episode was probably kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But I think it was fun.
Yeah.
And we got Samantha on the show. That's always
fun.
Yeah, thanks for listening. You can find the show every Sunday on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play.
Overcast. Yeah. We got you covered on those podcast apps. Remember, we don't have a script in front of us, so we're going crazy. But yeah, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, at Comics Covered. You can find Comics Archives, comicscovered.libsyn.com, as always. You can text us at 95... I'm just kidding.
We do not have a Comics Covered cell phone
that would take messages. We should get a burner.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Really
if we just got a burner phone that we accepted texts from.
Every week we get a different number. We give them the number at the beginning of the show and they can text us.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I don't know that's a thing we're going to do, but that's hilarious.
It's not probably going to be.
Not a thing we're going to do, but it's hilarious. Anyways, thanks again for listening to the show. I'm Doug.
I'm Jack.
You said your name for once.
I know. We don't have a script, so I don't know. Actually, I never put these things on the script.
No, so you say whatever is the first thing that comes to your mind, and sometimes the first thing that comes to mind takes you like 20 seconds to think of.
Well, I mean, say the first word that comes to your mind. Go.
Apple.
Okay, that's good. Good job.
Hungry for apples?
Oh, that's good. That's a Rick and Morty thing. And this has been Comics Covered.
Thanks, guys.